All right, well, many shoppers are familiar with the feelings of buyer's remorse, but have you ever experienced that in your career?
In a survey of 33 to 40-year-olds, nearly half say they choose a different career path when they started out. So what should you do if you're having a career identity crisis? Dr. Tessa West is a psychology professor at NYU and the author of Job Therapy, which gets released tomorrow. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Book launch. She joins us right now with some tips for workers who are having career remorse, as you're calling it. Welcome to the show. Really appreciate you being here. Why do you think so many people actually have second thoughts about their careers?
So I think a lot of us used to think of jobs as something that we do. We show up to work, we do our job, we go home, and now we think of our jobs as something we have a relationship with. It's almost like a partner that we're expecting to give as much back to us as we are giving to it. And so things like invisible labor at work or showing up and having a job that doesn't match with your expectations. In the same way we'd be annoyed if our romantic partner did those things, we're starting to kind of think about our relationships with our careers kind of in that same framework.
Okay, so is age ever a factor? Are you ever too old to change your career?
I would say you can be not adventurous enough to change your career. You could be stuck in your ways, or you could be too afraid to talk to strangers to kind of learn new things about a career. But those can happen if you're young or old. And so, you know, insofar as you're willing to try something new, to put yourself out there, then age shouldn't be a factor.
All right, so when I get to the Walmart greeter stage of life,
depends on how much of a pivot you're looking to do.
I might try to pivot.
You might want to stay in the same lane.
But if someone is unhappy with work, what should they do about it?
I think we have an instinct to just start applying for jobs right away. And instead, we should take a step back, do a little bit of digging to see kind of what the psychological roots are of your unhappiness. I'm a psychology professor, so I do a lot of work on figuring out, you know, why are we miserable? Is it that this job isn't loving us as much as we're loving it? You know, have we drifted apart? Do we no longer recognize it? And just really get to that kind of psychological source of your unhappiness. Dig deep, kind of measure yourself over a couple days, figure out what stresses you out at work before making any of those big career moves.
But what if she's still here?
You can just slip her a little note when you're off air that says, I think you should try something new.
I got it. Okay, so our jobs are generally where we spend most of our day, the most hours in a day. Is it ever a bad idea to have your whole identity be in your career and your job?
I would say it's not a bad idea for everyone, but it is a risky thing to do. And I think there's kind of two reasons why. One, you can be highly identified with something. It can define you as a person, but you don't actually like it. You know, you're sort of addicted to it a little bit, and it makes you feel bad about yourself. So that dangerous place of feeling identified with something that doesn't bring you satisfaction, I think that can be a scary place to be. I think it can also be dangerous if you actually don't want to give your whole identity to your career, but it's asking that of you. You show up to work, everyone's sort of obsessed with the job, and you're like, what's wrong with you guys? Let's just calm down. That mismatch can be a real problem for people in their kind of path to finding career satisfaction.
This reminds me of Dr. Strange. Are you familiar with the story? Yeah. Like his whole identity was wrapped up in being this surgeon, a doctor, and when that was taken away from him, he discovered that he had a bigger purpose and plan for his life that was not about saving individuals, but saving the universe.
Right, but he had to kind of lose it all, right?
Yeah. In order to gain.
You couldn't do surgery anymore. You know, sometimes we have to lose it all for us to sort of like wake up and realize.
I believe that.
You better preach.
Marvel Universe is all the cures. You don't need my book.
You know that's not a real doctor, right?
He looks like one.
Neither is Dr. Pepper. We're going to leave it at that. You know, build a list of keeper skills and network for her identity. There's some of your takeaways there.
Yes.
Dr. West.
Thank you so much. A real doctor.
A real doctor. Thank you so much for joining us. For much more about job therapy or to purchase a book, head to TessaWestAuthor.com as well.